Hi guys, this is Amber Moore back with another video for more moments. I wanted to do a review on Meg Thee Stallion's documentary. I think it's called In Her Own Words. I think it was really good. If I had to rate it from 1 to 5, I would definitely give it 5 stars. I condone her for getting up and taking a stand for herself, as she should. So as I was watching it, I was taking some notes on my laptop. So if you see me looking this way, I'm just basically looking at the notes that I wrote on my laptop to be able to elaborate with you guys with how I felt and, just things that I may have wrote down on my computer. But before I get into this, I'm very excited to be back doing another video. I know it's been a little while, but I had another video I actually wanted to do before this, but I just recently watched this and I wanted to hop on and do a review on it because it was really touching. It really moved me, so it made me be like, it was really relatable, and I'm like, I would love to do a review on this, so I want to get on here and do that, and also just say hello to you guys, and I hope everybody's life has been good, and if it's been some bad times, I hope you've been overcoming everything. Another reason why I haven't really even did a video, I was a little bit under the weather. Seasons change, and I caught a cold like twice back to back, so I'm shaking back now. Got my voice back in tune because I lost my voice too. So yeah, let's get right into it. So again, if you see me looking to the left, I'm just looking at my laptop here with what I wrote down. So let's get into it. So first of all, I love her story. She's a strong woman, and we need more authentic people in the world. It's beauty in the struggle of authenticity. Sometimes people can be scared to just really tap in and be their authentic selves, but it's nothing greater than to just be yourself, live out loud. It's freeing to me. That's what I think. The beautiful thing about the documentary was how vivid it was, raw, it was real, and it was relatable. I felt every inch of her pain. I'm a very vivid person, a visual person, so as somebody is telling a story or talking to me about something, I'm, definitely like picturing it in my mind. And so on her documentary, as she was telling certain stories, telling her story, she had like this, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but basically as she was talking, it was a picture being painted, as she was talking, like you can see like where she was in her mind and how she felt in the effects. So I think that was very powerful for her documentary. I think it's very important to take a stand, because if you don't, it'll be something that always sting at you and haunt you. So doing the right thing and rising above whatever you need to overcome is freeing, and it's power in that. I think it's important for anybody to do that, because it's just like I watched this movie called The Lazarus Effect, right? And it was this one memory or something she went through that was traumatic to her that she couldn't get over, and she was just talking about like death and how what they think hell and heaven is, and one of the things she came up with is just you reliving a certain moment that you just can't get over and over and over again because you never dealt with it in life. So I think it's very important to take a stand and just address the things that's bothering you in life, so you won't just keep living in that moment of your life. I think it's very important. Trauma is real, and always feeling under attack without a proper break, to sit down and face what's going on, in life, that's real. Sometimes we go through things in life and it's like we just got to keep going, right? What they say, like, dust it off, just keep going. And it's like, that's cool and all, but if you really don't take the time to address these things that's bothering you, you know what I'm saying? It's like, are you really okay? After a while, you start to, feel heavy and feel like you're carrying these burdens because you just got to just keep going. But it's like certain things you can just throw over your shoulder, and then certain things you got to really take the time and sit down and deal with. So if things have happened back to back, since say you was a child on up into your 20s and 30s, it's like, if you haven't dealt with some of those things, it seems like, like you're just carrying this burden that's just too heavy, and it's like you need a real mental health break. I think mental health breaks are very important. Sometimes we can be so busy with our jobs, with kids. If you have kids, I have no kids yet, but a lot of things can get in the way, and just you're not really taking the time out for you. So I think healing and taking that time out for you is very, very, very important. So getting help to dig deep within yourself with the help of a therapist or some sort of healing retreat, I'm sure will work wonders to one's mental, emotional health. I think, getting help is always good. Like, for a while now, I've always imagined like myself having like more than a therapist, more than a counselor, like a life coach, somebody that can help guide me and point me in the right directions with things I'm trying to accomplish, and even like certain traumas I may have experienced, and how to just get over that and create something beautiful. I think seeking help and getting it is important. Sometimes like to really get some good help, and just like I'm very deep, so I would like some deep healing. Like, I would love to go to a mental health retreat. I would like to do like Reiki healing and stuff like that, and really find a top of the line therapist, to get my fix, because what's gonna get you there. I wouldn't want to, no offense, I wouldn't want to talk to a therapist like I'm just talking to a friend. Like, I want to get some deep stuff. And so sometimes financially, depending on where you are in life, it's affordable resources, and then it's not so affordable resources, but everything is attainable, if you just put in the work. But I've always wanted to kind of have somebody on my side that I can, talk to, and not just only talk to, but actually get through some things, actually get some help that I may have needed. I felt like a lot of times in my life, certain things have been blocked off, or I felt numb by not just getting that help I need, because dealing with it on your own is cool. You can have resources online, but again, sometimes if you really need that deep help, it's out there. You just have to look for it. Let's see. So justice can be served through self-help work as well, meaning like I feel like getting into a routine of like meditating, eating clean, getting out in nature, being around your friends, and like I said, it's a lot of resources online as well for whatever you may be struggling with. So that's always an option too. So let me see here. All right, so how many of us have had injustices just because we didn't stand up? Many times we may have not known the correct route based off not being taught the right way to take a stand, or like I mentioned prior, not having the sources to have power to create effective change. Again, I feel like a lot of people in life may have gone through some injustices like me. Let's say, okay, I've worked 9 to 5, basically all my life, working one now, which I've been on for a year. Very proud of myself, love that company. I'm manifesting that this is my last 9 to 5. But I also have experienced many injustices at 9 to 5s, like being, wrongly terminated, bosses kind of doing some inappropriate things, saying some inappropriate things they shouldn't have said. I went through a lot of that in 9 to 5s, and I feel like it took a lot from me because I didn't stand up for myself, because I didn't know things about like, filing for wrongful termination, and, going through the EEOC, and, sometimes it's certain rules and levels to it to where they may take your case or they may not, but it's definitely an injustice. So I know sometimes they can be defeating, and so it's like when I look back, like knowing what I know now, I would have definitely fought for my rights and myself, because they're there. It's just sometimes we don't know that it's there, or we're not, when I say we don't know, we're not aware, of the help that's there. So I can relate with some of that. I think women's rights, women's voice, and women empowerment is women's rights, women's voice, and women's body empowerment should be respected instead of condoned. Men say a lot of demeaning things in their songs and etc. towards women, and somehow get praised, which is odd. You know, have you ever heard a song and they're talking about like having a threesome with a woman and she wasn't aware, or just a lot of this stuff, giving her drugs, and it's like it's so condoned, but the moment a woman gets to just embracing her body, oh, she's being too revealing, she's showing too much. No, she loves herself. And then say if a woman went through an injustice or some sort with a man, like coming off like sexually harassing her or anything, and the moment she try to use her voice, she's condoned, she's condemned, she's told she's being a liar. That's not okay. And we have the rights as women to speak out about these things, but a lot of women don't, sometimes could be ashamed, or it can be humiliating sometimes. And like I said, sometimes you may not taught how to really fight for yourself, so you just try to stuff it all in, and it's going to come out either way. So I think those things are important. I don't think she was gunning for him at all to just go down. She had to take a tall stand and do what's right for her. You live and you learn. No matter what, violence is not the answer. She did what she had to do for her, and she took a stand, and whatever way she tried to do it, violence is not the answer. I've definitely been through some things personally that has resulted in violence, and I just don't think that that's okay. I don't have kids yet, and I would hate to have to hear my kid telling me something that they've been through, and it just led to be some sort of violence. I just don't think violence is the answer. Anytime I was in high school and all that stuff, and people would fight and stuff like that, I would not like run to it. I'm like gonna go the other way. I'm gonna find another way to go to class, because you're gonna see about it, you're gonna hear about it anyway. Somebody's gonna record it, send it. But I never condone violence. I just don't like it. I don't think that's the answer. Whatever issues someone may have, it's other ways, so many ways to deal with it other than resorting to violence. So I really hate that stuff like that go on. I'm anti-violence. People are quick to judge from the outside looking in, but it's always more than what it seems to be. Real life things happen each and every day to whoever is living, period, point blank. So when people be so quick to judge somebody as if they haven't went through anything in life, or their life is perfect, I don't understand why people get on the internet and get to just talking and just saying some of the most craziest things. It's like, you don't know this person personally. Why are you acting like you perfect, like you ain't went through something in your life? People just be so quick to judge and just run with stuff, and it's just like, I couldn't imagine being a celebrity and having to go through that. I'll probably have to turn my comments off, all type of stuff, because I would have to protect my peace at all time. Not to say I don't think it would bother me, but like, we're human, so we may tap in and read some of this stuff that people have to say and just hear about stuff, just even in real life, without us being a celebrity. And it's like, dang, we could take offense to it or not. But yeah, people just so quick to judge, and I don't understand. I think it's silly. Seeing things on the internet, only showing glimpses of things that happen, and even clips of her documentary, certain things are being magnified, making her seem bad. And it's like, if you watch this documentary, you would know that she did the right thing. Unfortunately, it's sad that doing what's right causes so much hate, but you have to say screw that and continue growing and being who you are wholeheartedly. Life isn't always glitz and glamour. You go through some stuff to not stay down, but to rise above it. And you take the good with the bad and strive and make something out of your life. I think the worst thing we could ever do in life is sleep on our own potential. Why leave this earth with all the potential that we had in us? Just we're walking, talking potential. And it's like, we go through things, but we can't let those things condemn us. I feel like we got to be creative. We got to spread our wings and fly and just overcome this stuff in life, because we are here, we're born for a reason. Like, I feel like we got to make the most of it, regardless of what we go through in our life, so that's important. And before I end it, it was something that she said that I related to very much. She said, you hurt me, I'll leave you where you're at and we're even. And I'd rather just leave people where they are and go on about my life, in all honesty, without any unfinished business. But sometimes that can lead to people, to feel like they got over on you just by you moving on peacefully without a care in the world. And people used to tell me so much, like, oh, I cut people off too quick, I'm too mean, that's why you don't have no friends, that's why you ain't keeping a man around or something like that. And it's like, I'm not going to be treated any kind of way, I'm not going to be talked to any kind of way, I will not be handled any kind of way. I have a very specific way, that's not much, how I would like to be treated, talked to, and handled. So I want to be handled with care. I don't want to be handled like it's just nothing. I mean, you could be having a bad day, but don't talk crazy to me. We could be mad at each other, but we ain't got to cuss at each other and fuss and just do the most. I hate when people have a bad day and they take it out on you. I didn't do it. So that's why sometimes I try not to take things personally. But I use my discernment. And it's like, if I need to cut somebody off, I will cut you off. Call me the cutoff queen, okay? Because if I need to cut you off, I will. If you're taking away from my happiness, you're not reciprocating anything that I'm putting in, baby, I will withdraw really quick. So I really related when she said, you hurt me, I'll leave you where you're at, and we're even. You wiping your hands with it. It's no more that can be said and done. But sometimes people can still try to taunt you or come for you and just be having all this stuff in their mind about you, which is just unnecessary. Because why are you thinking about me like that, and I'm not thinking about you? Like, I'm just moving on peacefully. But sometimes people hate to see you move on with just such grace and joy and happiness in your heart. It's like people want to see you down, and it's like, I refuse to be down. So yeah, I really recommend, if you haven't seen Meg Thee Stallion's documentary, which I think is called In Her Own Words, I think you should take a look at it. I think it's great to be able to hear her and hear her voice and where she's coming from, because I can say, at first with all this stuff coming out, I'm not saying I thought she was wrong, but it was easy to judge just based off seeing little glimpses of stuff, and it's like, to really actually tap into her story, it's like, okay, all right. And just to see how Tory Lanez was just taunting her, and just other men was taunting her, just trying to jump on his side and trying to tell her she's wrong for fighting. No, it's like you're taught like to not fight for yourself, but it's so important. It is so important because it's freeing. You can't just live with this stuff on you. Sometimes you gotta really fight for yourself. You do. And so I just don't think she was wrong for taking a stand on herself. I think she did what she needed to do for her, and that's the thing. It's not for us. It's not for nobody else but her. You cannot hate her because she's doing what she got to do for herself. I think it's empowerment. It's beauty in it. Of course, you don't want to see nobody's downfall. Nobody wants to see that. Not even her. Like she said, if she could, she would have just completely moved on from this. Like she said, if this wasn't just so out in the open, she would have dealt with it on her own and just moved on. But it's just, it's not always easy, but nobody wants to see nobody go down. Nobody does. You want to see somebody rise above it, but you want to like antagonize me and taunt me and, start lying and not being truthful. It's like, I got to take a stand for myself, because if I don't, who will? And again, like, you have kids out here, that go through injustices, you're going to aid them to do what's best for them as well. I would imagine so. So I know when I do have kids, definitely, got to make sure that they get the help and, everything that they need. But I really love doing this review. Again, I recommend you seeing it. My rate from 1 to 5 is a 5. And I will be back with another video soon. I just had to get on here and talk about this. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know what you think. Like, if you've watched this, if you see this video and you've watched it, like, let me know what you think. How do you feel about her taking a stand and like just really doing this documentary? Do it give you different perspective, or you just feel like she's wrong, or whatever the case may be? I would like to hear you guys' feedback. Again, like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. Until next time, with more moments in Amber's mindset. Bye, guys.